But of course, your close association with the Prime Minister, you know, a lot of people, it's hard not to know. I mean, it was like kind of hard to separate you. Even as he was talking, he talked about how you were side by side with him here. How will you distinguish yourself from the Prime Minister's record in this race? Because so many people, again, Finance Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, you're very closely linked.
You know, Nick, for me, this campaign has been a real liberation.
So the other day, chrystia Freeland did her announcement for the leadership race. She did a live stream and it was catastrophic. You had pro-Palestinian protesters banging at the doors. They brought banners up right behind her. It almost looked like they tried to attack her. Not one, not two, but over 12 instances. Over 12 instances of Palestinian protesters heckling and then being removed. That's absolutely insane. And if you haven't seen that yet, I'm just going to play you a couple of those clips right now.
St. Albans Boys and Girls Club today.
All right, getting escorted out. Anthony Housefather, you can see shaking his head in the back right there. There you go, she's getting heckled.
Every single supporter across the country.
Someone jumps on stage, may or may not attack her.
Come on.
Look at everyone's face.
Be respectful of democracy. And let's be respectful of the kids at this Boys and Girls Club.
Free Palestine. Free Palestine. But that's not why we came here. We are watching this video today because Freeland sits down with CTV for an exclusive one-on-one, which is kind of interesting because ever since Justin Trudeau resigned, you haven't had any front bench liberal person or a liberal candidate for the leadership race or even Justin Trudeau give the Canadian media any time of day. Trudeau went on American shows, right? He went on the Daily Show or whatever. And then Mark Carney announced his bid on the Daily Show or whatever. Very bizarre. None of them have actually sit down with Canadian media. But today, chrystia Freeland, actually moments ago, chrystia Freeland went and sat down with CTV to complain about things. So here we go. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video, everybody. Before we get into it, I do want to encourage you all to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It does really help grow the channel. Without further ado, let's get right into this.
Monday, Ms. Freeland officially launched her campaign to be the next leader, and this morning she's joining us live here in studio to talk more about why she wants the job. Ms. Freeland, good to see you this morning. Thanks for the time.
Good to be with you, Nick.
Okay, so let's talk about, this is the big day, Inauguration Day. I realize it's day 2 of your campaign, but I think we have to talk about kind of the elephant in the room being the Donald Trump return of the President Trump here. Your thoughts on not only Donald Trump being back in office, but the threats of financial annexation to Canada, 51st state. If you become Liberal leader and therefore Prime Minister, how would you tackle Trump?
We need to be strong, smart, and united. The key thing is not to be scared. What Trump wants is chaos. What he wants is uncertainty. And as a country, we have to say, you know what? We can stand up for ourselves. I love what Bill had to say about the weather. He said, we love Canada, we can get through this, and we're tough. I think that is who we are, really, in our core, and it's that attitude that we have to bring to this truly challenging situation.
And it is challenging, and you have experience on this. I remember, I think one of the last times I saw you was in Washington, going back and forth during the sort of free trade sort of renegotiation here. With your experience there, what did you learn about Donald Trump, and what would you therefore bring to the table this time around?
I learned 2 things. One, he does not like weakness. For him, weakness is an invitation to just push harder and ask for more. The second thing I learned is if you're smart, if you have a plan, and if the fundamentals are actually good, which is what Canada offers the U.S., you can get a great deal. We did it before, we can do it again.
Okay.
So this is kind of funny because since this aired, the inauguration has already happened. Donald Trump has already been sworn in as the 47th and previously the 45th president of the United States. But what I don't think aired before this interview is the fact that American sources American sources have confirmed that Trump will not be imposing tariffs today on day one. It's just going to sit there. He hasn't addressed it. He hasn't said when he's going to do it. He's just said, right? You can check the internet to fact check that if you would like. So every single liberal, every single one of these politicians that have threatened America with, we're going to retaliate with tariffs, that doesn't seem strong. That actually seems impulsive right now, because there's a chance that Trump says, you know what, Canada, you guys have done a good job. You're getting yourself in order. You're going to have an election soon anyways. No tariffs for a little while. And so, I mean, Freeland looks a little bit dumb right now because she's going, Trump respects a strong person. Yeah, but you've already threatened him, and he's not imposing tariffs, at least not on day one like he said he would.
Let's move to why you're in the running then. We saw the letter. Everyone read the letter. It was kind of a bombshell that broke as we were on air here, about a month or so ago here. Your split from Justin Trudeau came as a shock to so many people because, I did a Google image search of you over the weekend, and in so many pictures, you're side by side with Justin Trudeau. Can you explain a little more of your case as to why you decided now was no longer the time to sort of support him or sort of be in his cabinet, as it were?
Yeah, for sure. And you started the question, Nick, saying, why am I in the running? And I'm in the running really because we need to stand up to Donald Trump, and I am the person who can do it. I know how to fight for Canada. I know we need to fight for Canada. I have a plan to fight for Canada, and that's what we need right now.
Mm-hmm. But of course, your close association with the Prime Minister, a lot of people, it's hard not to know. I mean, it was kind of hard to separate you. Even as he was talking, he talked about how you were side by side with him here. How will you distinguish yourself from the Prime Minister's record in this race? Because so many people, again, Finance Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, you're very closely linked.
Nick, for me, this campaign has been a real liberation. It is great to be able to say exactly what I think, to speak as a leader, and to speak in my own voice. I am loving it. Mm-hmm. I did resign from the cabinet. I was disagreeing with the Prime Minister more and more. I realized we were, as a government, on the wrong path. I knew Inauguration Day was coming. See all your coverage. Canadians know this is the central issue. I knew that had to be what our government was focused on. We couldn't afford to throw away $6 billion. We needed to keep our firepower dry. And today we need to look to the future. And we need to say, as Bill said, we love our country. We are tough. We can get through this. I have a plan to do that. And crucially, I have the guts and the experience to deliver on that plan for Canadians.
Mm-hmm. We know Donald Trump doesn't like you very much, Ms. Freeland.
What happened with Trudeau? Why is she not answering Trudeau? She's focusing on the Trump thing. And again, if that's her only leg to stand on for this entire platform, then she's not going anywhere, because those tariffs might not even be imposed. They might not even be imposed. They're not imposed today on day one. They might not even actually get to see the day of light. So this is a nothing burger if this is her main talking point. It's piss poor, and it certainly will not be enough to drive her to even win the leadership race.
How would that change things if you went back into negotiations with him?
I think it is a huge advantage for Canada. It is really, really important for Donald Trump not to sense weakness, not to sense that Canada can be bullied, not to sense that Canada will capitulate. Mm-hmm. He knows that I won't do any of those things. And that's how we get a good deal.
Mm-hmm. Let's go back to the disagreement you're having with the Prime Minister, because let's say you win this race. Of course, there's several people in the race right now. If there was a disagreement in your cabinet, how would you handle things differently? Like if your Finance Minister came to you and said, Prime Minister, I think we're on the wrong track here. How would you tackle that differently than what the experience you've had was?
Well, probably I wouldn't tell my Finance Minister I was going to fire her the day after she delivered the fall economic statement. I probably wouldn't say that 3 days before she was supposed to deliver it.
Mm-hmm. Interesting note there.
Step one, right?
Yeah, step one, yeah. Okay, let's talk about the carbon tax. That is sort of the signature policy of the Trudeau government here. You have said no more carbon tax. Why no more carbon tax?
No more consumer-facing
carbon tax. Pardon me. Yes, yeah.
You know why? Because that's what the people are saying to us. And democracy is about listening to people. It is not about saying, dear Canadians, dear people of Ontario, you are so, so wrong. to be a good leader, you have to listen to people. And that's what we've heard from the people of Ontario and across the country, where people have a consumer-facing price on carbon. They're saying, you know, we don't like it. And progressive premiers, you know, premiers like Wab Kinew are saying the same thing. So we have to listen. And at the same time, we do need a strong plan to fight climate change. It's important for our planet. It's important for our kids. It's important for our economy. And I absolutely know we can do that.
On the other hand, though, when you were asked about it, when you were in the government, you would sort of highlight the fact that I think the number was about 80% of Canadians were kind of getting more back than they were paying on the carbon tax. So if you get rid of the consumer-facing carbon tax, are you not taking money out of people's pockets in a time when there's an affordability crisis?
You know, when you're in a government, you play with the team. All of us have the experience of having a boss and having a team. With the price on pollution, with the carbon tax, I think the people have been really, really clear. People just don't like that, and they're saying that to us. I really think that if you're in a democracy and you're not listening to people and you're lecturing them, that is not going to work. And so that is a really important change I think we need to make. And we need to make it because I know that people in Ontario, people in Toronto, they do know that we have to fight climate change. But they're saying this element of the plan we just don't like. I've heard them, and I'm going to do what they want us to do.
So they don't like it, or is it that they don't understand it, that it wasn't sold so well, that people kind of got confused about this whole, you're going to pay now, get money back? It sort of seemed to throw a lot of people, like, the misunderstandings of it.
It's not a misunderstanding. It's blatantly lying to people. They have been lying to people. You don't get more money back than what you put in. This has been proven time and time again. It's a tax scam to enrich the government to cover their deficit because they haven't found another way to do it without cutting social programs. Jesus, man. These people, they just don't get it.
You know, maybe, but at the end of the day, I really don't believe in saying to voters, to Canadians, oh, you just don't understand. You know, like, that's just, it's not right. Like, people are smart. People understand what they think and what they want. People are being really clear, and democracy is about hearing that message and acting on it.
Okay, well, we are in the thick of a lot of democrary right about now, Ms. Freeland.
We are.
Yeah.
So Freeland's entire career, it just ended. Her entire platform today in this interview, in this exclusive interview, was one thing. I have negotiated against Donald Trump, and I'm the only one that can do it again because Trump respects people that are tough, and I've been tough on him in the past. But Trump said that he's not imposing tariffs today. What if he doesn't impose tariffs at all? Then what's her platform? What's her angle? She can't even answer simple questions about the fall of her relationship as a cabinet minister under Justin Trudeau. I don't think she has a winning platform for the leadership race for the Liberal Party. I actually think that she's just ended her career because her only points have been Trump, 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 and a little bit of climate change. When people don't really care about climate change right now, and the Trump thing might not even actually happen. So that's not a good look for her, but hey, who am I to judge? I can't help but smile to watch Freeland's career come to a screeching halt, where Carney, on the other hand, has a different approach, and it hasn't just been about tariffs. It's been about fixing the Canadian economy, and it just feels like he has more talking points than Freeland, which is crazy because how could she not strategize better? Canadians aren't all that worried about the singular event of the tariffs. It does suck. It will suck if it actually happens, but there's more issues at stake. Why not address those issues, Freeland? That's a losing platform. Her talking points are not that good, and she clearly is not set to win. And it really is starting to look like Karina Gould is running in this exact same race to basically set interference up against Chrystia Freeland. But those are my opinions. I would absolutely love to know yours. This is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.